Take me out to left field. Give me a shot of Fireball. Give me some high fives from Mark Pena and a hug from Jeff Cross as we stand on top of the tables. Hearing the horns, that's a blast. For it's 1, 2, 3 shots from the cannon with the ladies of left field.
Hey, y'all, it's game time with the ladies of left field. We have the whole crew back together, finally.
We're all available.
Let's say we had to strategically plan this because I literally leave tomorrow morning to go to Chicago for the lacrosse national championships, but we all got it together.
Yes.
So you got Casey, Katie, and Jordan, the usual suspects.
Yes.
And it was a busy weekend. College sports, pro sports, all of the above. Full disclosure, I was mostly out at Lake Norman on a boat, drinking Mick Ultras and not watching sports. So my hot girl headline is literally relevant to today. But our Dallas Mavs have parted ways with Jason Kidd after 5 years. It was announced as a mutual decision, and Kidd has 4 years and over $40 million remaining on his contract.
Well,
there's other than that, I've kind of been in a lacrosse haze. So if you need to know about which I will tell y'all, the national semifinal and the national championship are Friday and Sunday this weekend. So if you have multi-screens and you want to pop on ESPNU on Friday and ESPN on Sunday, Yo Girl will be producing, unless it's bad, then someone we don't know is producing it.
I'm sure it'll be great if it's you.
It'll be good. No, it'll be good. It's actually really cool. Like, you have I'm on a tangent. You have like 3 women's lacrosse blue bloods in Maryland, Northwestern, and North Carolina. And then Johns Hopkins is making their first appearance in the women's lacrosse national semifinals. So
good for them.
Fun storylines. And like, this was so cute. The Johns Hopkins coach was an assistant for the Northwestern coach at some point, and like his daughters were her flower girls in their wedding.
Oh wow!
So like it's just very cute. It's all super exciting. It's the first time the women's lacrosse championship has ever been held in the Central Time Zone. So tune in on Friday and Sunday. 2 and 4:30 on Friday and 11 a.m. on Sunday.
Nice for you, Jordan. Good, yeah. I know you've been so busy. So yeah, just to follow up with the Mavs headline, and I mean Jason Kidd, he's 40 mil, like that's great. I'll just take that to chill. But I've been talking about the NBA, and the conference finals are officially here tonight, which is Tuesday when we're recording. Begins the Eastern Conference Finals. So the New York Knicks are hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers. Game 1 is in New York at Madison Square Garden. If you guys know anything about NBA basketball, Knicks fans are wild. They have been waiting for this. Spike Lee, everybody. So, I mean, all the celebs come out. So this atmosphere is supposed to be just awesome and crazy and insane. So, yeah, the Knicks swept the 76ers, who people thought looked really good. So here we go. Yeah, the Knicks have great defense. They're super tough. Great chemistry as a team, and they're ready for it. So the Cavs, we'll see. They had a really tough 7-game series, so they're a little bit more beat down. They did beat Detroit, and so, yeah, a couple of things to look out for. But what?
A little side note is that we do have a former Longhorn on the Cavs, Jared Allen.
Okay.
So he's on the Cavs, and then I really like Jalen Brunson, so that'll be when I watch those games, I'll kind of like those will be the 2 people I'm kind of like going for on each team.
And then if you watched any basketball at all, you should have watched the start of the Western Conference Finals, because that game was wild. I was trying to go to sleep and I just couldn't, because it was the Spurs versus the Thunder, Oklahoma City. It went to 2 overtimes. The final was the Spurs did end up winning 115 to 112, but it was a wild game. I mean, it was kind of like the Spurs were, I felt like, winning most of the game.
Yep.
But the OKC kind of came back at the end and tied it. And then it was like the Spurs were kind of right there the whole time. But then at one point, it was like OKC was dominating the first overtime. But then Wemby came down and just threw up this literally 48-footer, deep, way deep 3-pointer. And I was like, oh my God, no way. And he hit it, which tied it. Anyway, so it was so close. It was in Oklahoma City. So, I mean, I was kind of like, oh, come on, Thunder. Like, I don't know. The home team is always fun to win. And because they kind of came back, but Wemby is amazing. He does look pretty unstoppable. I mean, he had something crazy. He had like 41 points, 24 rebounds. Y'all, that's to me wild in the NBA.
Right.
24 boards.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's insane.
Well, and then if you think about it, you had Wemby was the defensive MVP and SGA won MVP. And so you had both of these guys going at each other, you know. And both of them have, I mean, in both Spurs and Thunder are young teams. Yeah. And they have like a, you know, it's not just they each have a superstar, clearly, that won both the MVP awards, but then they've got like their surrounding cast are so good. So it was just like that was like one of the best basketball games I have seen, you know, in a long time. I mean,
in a long time. Yeah.
And they even were saying like, because in the second half, like in the third period, the Spurs had like a, you know, they usually it was like a 7 to 8 point lead. It kind of stayed at that. And like Reggie Miller was even saying, he goes, Spurs better like do something, put something on because the Thunder will come back in the fourth quarter. And I mean, and they did. I mean, it was like they methodically just knew that they were going to, you know, within 3 minutes, all of a sudden that place, like you said, Katie, was going nuts. So,
yeah.
I mean,
So, I mean, the Thunder crowd is wild. I mean, they are known for that. And then SGA, I feel like, can turn it on. Like, that kid can take the ball to the rack and, like, score. So that was amazing. Yeah. I don't know.
And
so,
I mean, also, it was pretty, I mean, I was sitting there going, they don't call fouls in the NBA.
Not more. More.
I mean, I was like, whoa, people are going, because even in the fourth quarter, when a foul would be called, and so then I'm expecting them to go to the free throw line, and then they're inbounding, and it was like, okay, so nobody's in the bonus. I mean, it was literally just, you know, the occasional, you know, free throws were shot when it was fouled on a shot. So it should be a great series because that also was the Thunder's first loss in the playoffs this year. They won 4-0 in both of their previous series. So that was a big deal as well.
No. Everybody's saying still OKC looks like the most complete team.
Yeah.
You know, and SGA is still so good. They're just curious if they can solve for Wemby's size, you know, and his just like defensive dominance, like you were mentioning, Case. So it's like, can they figure that out in order to beat the Spurs?
And each team also had like an injury. Like Darian Fox didn't even play for the Spurs. He wasn't even in uniform. And then Jalen Williams for the Thunder was wobbly. I think he's had some either hamstring issues second half of the season or what. So he came in towards the end, but he also like, you know, he wasn't at full strength. You could tell he wasn't at full speed. He couldn't like, you know, the way they were like flying up and down the court. So anyway, very fun. So if you like basketball, it's good basketball to watch.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we'll keep going the NBA, watching the NBA. But also a random hot girl headline is Mark Pena is a big fan of Manchester City soccer. We don't really care about soccer, but I happened to watch it on my TV because it was on one morning this weekend, and they did win. Manchester City beat Chelsea. And if you care at all about soccer in English Premier League soccer, you're either a Chelsea fan or not. And, you know, so, and so if you're not, you're happy that somebody else beat Chelsea. And this was for the FA Cup final. And actually, interestingly enough, there's all these cups all over Europe. And so this was a domestic cup double for Man City because they also won the Carabao Cup earlier in the season. So there you go. Little soccer news for you.
Okay. Well, gets us geared up for World Cup this summer.
There you go.
My hot girl headline's a little kind of random. I just was looking, and the NFL released the full schedule last week, and so I was kind of deep dived into the Cowboys schedule. And we have 6 primetime games, which that alone to me is, I mean, that's just the fact that we're, the team that always, people bash on the Cowboys, but then lo and behold, here we are playing in primetime games 6 times through, out of 18 weeks. But our first two games and our last 2 games are against the Giants in Washington. So we have division, we start off strong or start off against division and end against division. And then we have an international game against the Ravens in Brazil. But the one good thing about that, or maybe I guess there's multiple good things, but at least it's in regular time zone for us. It'll still be like a 3:15 game, on a Sunday. So we don't have to, wake up to one of those 8 a.m. kickoffs that they have in London or whatever, and that you forget that the game is on. Yes. And then just some other little notables. We'll have Green Bay at home. So we'll be facing Micah again, boo. And then we play San Francisco in Dallas, and we have the Eagles on Thanksgiving. We face the Seahawks, who were the Super Bowl champs. Our bye week isn't until the week 14. That seems really, really late to me, but, whatever. We also play the Rams, and that was Matthew Stafford. He was the reigning MVP. So Cowboys have a fairly difficult, the schedule looks strong. So we'll see how we do. Hopefully it's all exciting, but that was a lot there.
Yeah, that's so fun.
So,
all right. So, are we going to go to baseball next, y'all? We're going to talk about UT baseball.
Let's jump in.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a good one. We swept Missouri. In dominant fashion, I would say. It was fun to watch. Thursday, it was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, which I don't really like. Those of us who have to work on a Friday, it was hard, but it's fine. But Valantis was our starter. Thursday night, game 1. He went 7 innings, which was awesome. This was a co-career long for Dylan Valantis. He did give up a home run to the first batter, but then he shut it down. Looked amazing. So he struck out the next 6 batters, and that 6th was his 100th strikeout of the season. So, Dylan looked dominant, and it was awesome. And then what else y'all got?
Yeah, and then Kozar got the save, so he came in again, and he struck out the side in that 9th inning, and it was just with 14 pitches. So that was pretty, very efficient, very efficient. And then our hitting guys continued to show their stuff. Casey Borba, Carson Tenney, Pac-Man, they all had home runs, so that was a good thing. They were looking very sharp. Sorry, I'm moving around my thing.
It was super fun to watch. I was happy. I think I told Casey's mom on Saturday or Friday, maybe, or Saturday. But I was because he was not just hitting home runs. I feel like he was hitting the ball better and just consistently. And he was just, I was like, Cindy, he's back. I think we're back. She was like, I know. Thank God. I'm just happy that he's hitting the ball square again. And it's going really well. So, it was a good win.
Game 2 was another good win. Carson Tenney was our hero or the star, I guess, if you want to say not hero, but star. He had 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. So that's, quite the numbers. His numbers were off the chart all weekend long, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
But with the 2 home runs that he had on Friday, he reached 20 home runs for the season. And then Casey Pac-Man also homered, I believe, in that game.
Yes.
If I got that right. Yes. So, and when Casey homered, it was his 5th home run in his last 8 at-bats, which is a pretty phenomenal stat right there as well. So,
and one, I'm just remembering now, case 2, Aiden Robbins did not play Thursday night, and he did not play Friday night. And we saw his dad on, I guess, Saturday, and we were like, how's Aiden? And he said that he had a stomach bug.
Are we here?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
So Aiden Robbins, I was saying, had a stomach
so Aiden
bug.
didn't play Friday and Saturday due to illness.
Okay, not Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Friday and Saturday, right.
Okay, I can remember. And we saw his dad. He was telling us that he, I guess that stomach bug's been going around the team a little bit, and he, he was like bad. He had to took him to the hospital on Friday night, to make sure he got fluids and got maybe some IVs and just felt better.
Right.
So there was talk about hopefully nobody else gets it. They can all get healthy.
Yeah.
It'd be good to go. But
and in that Friday game, like Luke Harrison was looking just amazing. Through the first 6 innings, he was cruising, just doing great. And then in the 7th inning, he kind of ran out of gas, and unfortunately, we ended up letting the bases get loaded, and then they got a home run. They got a grand slam. So they kind of like inched themselves back in. So we're still having a little bit of those little bullpen scary woes, but they kind of Cozart ended up coming in again and shutting them down. So he ended the SEC season with 8 saves.
Wow.
Which
that kid is dominant.
Yeah.
Like it is just, even on Saturday, when we were like, it's toward the end and kind of the same thing like Casey said. It was like we were like, all right. And I was like, can we bring in Sam again? And Mark was like, no, we cannot. And I was like, well, we might need to.
But Burns took care of that. And the Saturday's game was kind of like a pitching by committee, really, because they started Ruger. He got to throw 1 pitch, and then they put him out. They took him out, and I heard later that was planned. He wasn't feeling good, and so he may have also had this little stomach thing happening. But they wanted to let him participate in the senior day, kind of, just be out there on the field, throw the first pitch, and then immediately, because, when they took him out, I don't remember if it was Brody Walls or Ethan Walker that came in next, but
Brody Walls.
He came right out. It wasn't like
he's ready.
Yeah. So it was clear that, but I felt like, so Cal Higgins got the win, but I felt like that Cody Howard was the one that really kind of emerged as the one that he's starting to show like middle relief.
More consistent.
Stuff. So that was all good there. And, and we also saw a pitcher that none of us had ever seen before, Caleb Rogers.
Yeah.
Finished the game.
Yeah.
And he's a freshman. Yeah.
Wait, does that burn his red shirt because he had the 1 appearance? I thought they get
but there's a bunch of I think there's all this discussion that the NCAA is going to change rules and go to a 5 for 5, like you have 5 years of eligibility kind of thing. And let's be honest, more than likely, if he's that good of a pitcher, he wouldn't be here that long. He's
true. I guess I just never realized it in baseball because in I feel like every other sport, there's it's a percentage of the games. If you play in less than 10% or whatever it is.
Exactly.
I think for football, it's 4 games. I never remember that.
Yes.
25%.
Everybody was acting like, and they asked Sloss, they were like, you burned his red shirt for 1 batter. But I think Sloss was fed up, man. Like he was like,
and privately, they may be like, we're ready to use him now, like the rest of the season.
And if he continues to pitch the rest of the season, that makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
I do that.
That was my thing, Case. It's like Max Wiener, and they know what they're doing. And if they think this kid can come in and be another reliever or closer for us when Sam, has to take a day off, like they're going to go ahead and pitch it.
And we've lost Max Grubbs for the season.
Yeah.
He's
That's
out.
why I just made the sad face because I just remembered about you said Max Wiener, which made me think of Max.
Right. Yeah.
His arm all wrapped up on senior day.
Which just that crushes my little heart.
I know.
Yeah. But go ahead.
I was just saying, and I'm hoping, like Casey said, me and Casey were pretty confident that Ruger was it was a planned thing for him to throw that 1 pitch and then pull him out. Some other folks in the left field did not agree with us, but I think that, but
why would they have him throw 1 pitch?
Exactly.
And then there's no reason to have it.
And they wouldn't have they wouldn't have somebody else warmed up, like completely ready.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. No, that's,
So we're all hoping that it's not like an arm thing and it's more just like a fatigue, sickness, this stomach bug that's going around the team right now. Thanks. They were like,
and I guess
his ball was 86. And I was like, well, he's tired. Like that means just fatigue. Like it just could be that he's sick.
And did Saturday's result, did how Texas performed on Saturday affect their seeding?
No.
Because
So why would you burn that up? Why would you make him pitch if
right? Well, you did have a chance. If we had lost, we would have been tied with A&M. So actually, we would have been a 3 seed because we would have lost.
But that's still a double bye, right? So
Yes,
I mean, yes, obviously you would rather have the higher seed, but it's still a double bye. So okay,
and but we still got to end up for bragging rights. We finished ahead of A&M in the SEC, this year. So
which you'd also hope Schloss wants to do. So.
Exactly. Right. And so I did a few more of the little notable things like with people's home runs and whatnot. Like with Carson Tenney hitting 20 home runs, he's now up to 4th on the single season, 4th on the UT list in a single season. He's tied with Jeff Ontiveros, who did that in 2002. Mm-hmm. And he's got 4 over the Green Monster, and that ties him with Ivan Melendez. They're the so that's right there at the top. So if he happens to have another one, he'll own that record. And then Aiden Robbins is right behind him, 5th on the single season list. So they've got 20 and 19 home runs respectively. And Casey Borba moved up to 7th on the career home run list with 33, and he's tied with Scott Bryant, that's a big deal. Scott Bryant's got his jersey retired. He was a National Player of the Year award winner back in my day, 87 to 89. So he was a 2-way player. So I mean, that's a big deal. And then Ruger and Dylan Volantis have both struck out 100 or more. Ruger's 100, Dylan's got 105, and that's the first time we've had 2 pitchers do that in a single season since Cole Green and Taylor Youngman in 2011. So this team is going back, matching some of our great teams with some of their records and such. So
we should be optimistic. Let's finish
and
this.
Then if anybody wants to run through, I don't know if y'all all of our SEC honors.
I'll share some, and Jordan, you can share some.
I just had some other ancillary awards just because I still get the releases.
Oh, cool.
Right. Yeah, you can do SEC, and then I'll do some random stuff from this week.
Okay, so Anthony Pack Jr., SEC Freshman of the Year. Texas is the first school to do this since Florida had back-to-back winners in 09 and 10. So last year it was Volantis, right? He was the freshman of the year. Yeah. So this year it's Pack. Aiden Robbins, SEC Newcomer of the Year. Dylan Volantis and Sam Cozart, all SEC first team. Pac-Man, Carson Tenney, all SEC second team. Again, Pack and Cozart, SEC all freshman team. And so Georgia's Daniel Jackson was named the SEC Player of the Year. He is a catcher. So he is the only reason that Carson Tenney did not.
That's my opinion.
Diversity.
That's
great.
Fair.
Analysis.
Fair.
Yeah. Totally fair. But also I was gonna share. Oh, it was really sweet. I'm sure y'all do too. I follow Ruger on Instagram, and he immediately posted these awards about his teammates, which I just thought was cool.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so nice, So all right, Jordan, what else you got?
I was just gonna say, following on the Tenney train, he was the perfect game co-player of the week, Buster Posey National Collegiate Player of the Week. But there were 3 Longhorns invited to USA Baseball's Collegiate National Training Camp. And it was Cozart, Pack, and Dylan Volantis. So just a few other accolades for the baseball team before we get into the SEC tournament play, which I know we're going to get into that, but I'm feeling very strongly that Tennessee is going to beat South Carolina.
Yeah, so. They're up 9-3 right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And Missouri won. Missouri beat
Ole Miss.
So there you had like the 16 seed, and then Vanderbilt beat Kentucky. So Vanderbilt has. I think I was hearing them say Vanderbilt has to get all the way to the championship to have even a chance.
Okay. I thought that was insane. They were saying that during the game, and I thought that was crazy going in there because, yes, Vanderbilt has to make it to the champ game to make it to the postseason. That's insane.
And I think that's probably the same for LSU. LSU probably has to actually win.
So. I say LSU, I just also haven't been keeping up with it all.
Right. No, they've done it horrible. horrible.
Oof.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to see some of these, some of these teams that are just they're vying for their lives. I mean, obviously Missouri is too. I mean, Missouri would have to get all the way, but yeah, to hear Vanderbilt and LSU beat the two teams that,
Well, and after how recently Kentucky was there, and then for the whole that Kentucky Vandy game was that it's a make or break game for both of them because they all have to win to the championship game.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah. So we'll face either Tennessee, South Carolina, or Arkansas, and we'll play Friday at 3. And that should actually be the right time since it's the first game. And then if we win that game, we have a possible matchup because A&M's in the same situation. They're
how dare they?
And they play Thursday. So no, they play Friday too. So we're gonna play whoever wins their game out of their matchup will win. We'll play the Saturday.
And there's a possibility if it's not A&M, it could be Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's LSU OU is the last game tonight.
Yes.
And then whoever wins that plays Auburn. And then whoever wins that plays A&M. And then we could potentially play A&M or Oklahoma.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh, good. So,
yeehaw.
It's really not. I mean, for us, this is just kind of like, okay, you have to go and participate.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't by winning the series and actually sweeping Missouri. I feel like we're guaranteed a top 8. I mean, we've been we haven't fallen below 6 in the rankings all year long, so there would be no reason that we would fall out of that for seeding.
Yeah.
So
I know Casey and I were talking about it on Saturday, and we were like, I think if we can win one game and then look competitive, I think we'll be fine. So,
well, that may like bump us up. The better we do in the SEC tournament, that could help us put us back up higher to where then maybe you get an easier regional. I don't know.
Great. We'll see that.
Yeah. So, and then that'll all be determined, or that'll all be announced on Monday, Memorial Day Monday. So election show usually it's at 11. I think. Is that right, Jordan? Don't you think? On ESPN usually?
That sounds right. It throws me off that it's a Monday. I know it's Memorial Day.
Yeah.
But it always throws me off.
I know, y'all, with the end of the school year happening, I literally have scheduled like probably 10 meetings on Monday the 25th, and they write me back to like, maybe we're off. And I'm like, well, no wonder my schedule is so open. I'm like, sorry, I've done it so many times. I'm like,
oh goodness.
Yeah, that's
and
Monday, May 25th at 11 a.m. Central.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Locked in.
And we have lots of good around the horn stuff.
Yeah. And Jordan, you said you didn't watch our game, but you did watch the Arizona State A&M game.
It just timed out that I was able to get home in time to watch kind of the ending of the A&M Arizona State, where Arizona State rolled
it off.
A&M.
Yep.
It was
awesome.
Incredible. It was like I walked into the living room, turned on the TV, saw A&M lose, and I was like, all right, Sunday is good.
Yeah.
So, and we, in our regional, gave up 1 run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dominant, y'all.
On that front, actually, our games were some of like the most watched games in regional coverage.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
The most watched NCAA regionals were Texas Baylor and Wisconsin Texas. Those are 2 most watched games over the weekend.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Very good.
Like Casey and I, we were out, in left field for 2 of the games, and then on Sunday we were home since we weren't playing, and I did watch the entire game. It was super fun to watch.
Yeah.
It was super, like the Baylor game. I loved it when Katie Stewart. Yeah, I mean, hit a home run off that Baylor pitcher immediately.
Yes.
This is the first pitch case. It was just like literally
Yeah.
immediately, and I was like, oh hell yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
So I feel like we rocked that pitcher a little bit, and then she kind of settled in, the Baylor pitcher, but then they came back, and one of those late innings, man, we had a couple of home runs back to back, and it was like that when they kind of blew it open.
Yeah.
It was open. Yeah, it was fun. What did you notice about the softball team this weekend?
good. Kind of that. I same thing. I watched all of that Baylor game, and just Tegan Kavan seems to really be getting into her groove again, just almost like she did last year, where kind of had some ups and downs, and then tournament play comes, and she just starts to like settle in and be dominant. And I think it wasn't. She only struck out 5, but she had no walks, so it was like she didn't put anybody on base. Didn't do any of the gimmies, put anybody on base. And then we've got that freshman Hannah Wells, who is also, a home run hitter. And she like set the freshman record with 14 in her. So she surpassed Katie Stewart's record that was in 2024. So I really love to watch. And then there's like I don't know the whole story of it, but this thing about the wig. Like, they interview Mike White, and then like they're back behind him and wearing the wig. Yeah. Doing all that stuff.
All I said is he looks like Dora the Explorer.
Well, then it was hilarious. Like I think it's so funny. Like different players put on the wig and they kind of dance behind him as he's getting interviewed, during the game. And then finally, once they won, he put the wig on, which I thought was hilarious. I was like, oh my gosh, Mike White, you're such a good dude. Like he's having a good time.
Yes. Well, and some other things that I like looked up and saw was that as a head coach, he's made it to the super regionals every single year of throughout his career, and that's 16 years.
That's
so like,
wild.
Yeah. So it's like, his consistency is really, really good. And just, I think, he just knows how to, get his team to play for him, and get behind him. And I was also, I don't know how much, but I don't really know like that the girls that are on our team, I feel like they've all been there. They're not transfers in, maybe there is one or two that I don't know about, but even all the ones they're playing, they're either people that I remember from last year or they're freshmen.
Right.
So, somebody, other people can correct me if that, obviously I'm just speaking off of like which I just kind of like, because you watch other teams and you hear this, she transferred from here and she transferred from there and she transferred blah, 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 so. But I also am very intrigued just when you are watching and them talking about, and I don't know what ended up happening this weekend, but between UCLA and Oklahoma and this home run, like total home run by the teams, and then by those, there's a girl on each team that are like, they're like in the race to like beat the record that was set almost 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Which at that time, like, and then I've heard like Kat Osterman and some of them say pitching was so much more dominant. You didn't have all the home runs way back then that you had. So like that record that's happened way back then is even more impressive that it happened then compared to now. I don't know if like the bats and the balls are, a little different or whatever, but because there's another girl with last name Wells at Oklahoma, and she's hit like 5,000 home runs. It's not like 30 or something, it's, and then I don't know, there's somebody, I want to say she's like on UCLA's team that also has hit a bunch of home runs.
Yeah. So they're saying Megan Grant from UCLA broke the NCAA division season single home run record with her 38th home run.
Yeah.
Which is freaking wild.
Yeah. That's like one person.
Softball?
Yeah. A lot of teams don't have that many home runs from a team perspective.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you're right. And so Oklahoma had previously set this record.
Oh, yeah. Maybe last year or
No, recently.
Yeah.
Okay. So what it is Oklahoma's short-lived home run record is being stomped by UCLA's power surge. So the Sooners set a new NCAA home run record a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And then UCLA beat it this weekend. And it's for it's for the team home run record. So that's Kendall Wells for OU for the Sooners. Yeah. Kendall Wells hit a massive home run against Georgia, 230 feet over the center field wall. And that was the team's setting record of 162 home runs for the season. That's wild.
Golly.
And then, like you said, like a million. And then UCLA came back this weekend and beat that. And so now UCLA has 173 home runs on the season.
Man.
Yeah.
And
you're right. So now they're neck and neck. Like they're going back
Right.
and forth on
on
this situation. So right now, as of the last game, I think the Bruins in the Big Ten championship game against Nebraska this past Saturday, they hit their 182nd home run. That's wild, y'all.
And so it makes me, but like and I would watch some of OU's regional games, and it was just like, home run, home run, home run. And I'm sitting there thinking, how did Alabama beat them? And Alabama's the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, whoa, so
interesting.
This would be this next weekend will be very fun for softball, to see what happens. But yeah, as we've said, we're playing Arizona State now. That will be at home in Austin. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday and Saturday games are supposed to be at night. There is weather in Austin expected. It is Memorial Day weekend, so why should we be surprised that it's supposed to rain?
Right.
But I did hear that it's not supposed to rain all day every day. You just should have some rain at some point, where you are one of the days or whatever. So hopefully that doesn't impact those games. And then Sunday, the if necessary game there is a TBD on that. So super excited about that. I mean, I'm definitely, softball has definitely gotten very exciting.
Yeah. Kind of blown up again in Austin
this time of year. Yeah. So
I noticed that the men's tennis, they were in the national championship game against Virginia. People were really thinking they were going to bring it home, but they actually ended up becoming the runners up. Virginia won in the final match 4-3. It was super competitive.
Yes, it was.
Still, good job, men's tennis. That's still a really good feat.
Yeah, that was.
Y'all got some golf news.
I do. Men's golf is in the Bryan Regional yesterday and today, and it was supposed to be tomorrow, but today they played 2 rounds. We ended up winning the regional, finishing number 1, and Luke Potter on our team finished as the top individual golfer, and I believe that might be his first win of the season. He's one of our top 4, so I'm excited about that. And then A&M is behind us, so men's golf will be heading to the NCAA championships the end of next week. Women start their championship this Friday, and the format's the same for both men and women, and they both play at the same course, just a week apart. They play out in California at Omni La Costa Resorts or something. But randomly, I don't know all the background on that, but UT is the host for that.
So they've been that for a couple of years. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know exactly why, but I think John Fields just really likes Omni La Costa, and so
I think he kind of pitched it as let's be like Omaha and let's be like softball, where there's a place the same place every year and not rotating national championship sites or whatever. So, but you have the top 5 from every regional go. So you have 30 teams there, and then you have 5 individuals, and then 4 days of stroke play. Then you fall into the top 15, then another stroke play, then the top 8, and then that becomes match play. So if you're, like I've said before, if your team is good and you keep advancing, that is a lot of golf. I mean, day after day after day.
This stuff stresses me out, just thinking about how, and I mean, I still go back to the Oregon national champion, the Buster year, all that. It stresses me out because you're this
we
close.
We just straight up lost a point when he
a whole person just cannot compete, and so you lose. It stresses.
Yeah, I didn't think that was fair that you have to set your 5 ahead of time, and you can't. If something happens, you can't put in an alternate. I was like, that sucks. But yeah, so hopefully for both of our golf teams, so the women are going in with a lot of high expectations and high hopes, and the men will be too. So,
all right, good times. Well, yeah, we can see you in the virtual left field. We can all be watching the SEC tournament. And then we're really excited, though, for like legit postseason to get started with the regionals, which we'll better be hosting here in Austin
next weekend.
Yeah. So
I mean, the weekend after Memorial Day. Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So next week we'll be able to talk all about our regional.
That's right.
Yes.
We can
all of them.
In all of them. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
We can preview all the different regionals. So yeah.
And then hopefully we'll be talking about women's softball advancing. Hopefully.
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe too. I believe. So
all right. Good stuff. Thank
Yeah.
you guys. And we'll see y'all in left field.
See you in left field.
Field.